should be here for his boys, papi. For Paquito. He's actually like good friends with Pacomike. God damn it. Este Horace. Too busy playing WoW. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have the Mexican Protoss player representing team licensed to kill. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Altitude, we have his opponents. We have the Canadian Zurich player representing Storm Gaming. It is Bioice. And things just get harder from here. Wraith was more of an up-and-comer. Wraith was more of a newcomer to the scene to kind of make his mark. But Bioice has been around for a very, very long time here. He is a very old-school player. And he's still competing, is still damn good, still a common name, common face in the NA scene, the Canadian scene. And we really don't get to see these two face off too often. There was a time where we did. This was, of course, back in Battle of the Americas. But since then, we haven't had the luxury of having too many events where Bioice and Pacomike can face off against each other. I am ready for this. I am excited. I want to see Pacomike and Bioice go the distance and go to an ace match. Oh. But here we go. Pacomike in PvZ can be a very scary player. He can be very unpredictable. He can play a lot of Skytoss. He does love his Skytoss. Oh god, why are we on Altitude? God damn it. I'm scared. I'm a little bit worried, mate. I'm a little bit worried. Pacomike, if he sees an opportunity, he is more than willing to embrace the Skytoss and go for carriers. He is more than willing, mate. He's all about that if he can get there. So I am a little bit concerned, but he's not a one-trick pony. That's the thing. He has a lot of builds up his sleeve. He can go for Blink Stalker timings. He can go for charged out all-ins. All-ins, though, usually aren't amazing on very large maps like Altitude, but we do have a hidden probe out here. We could see a Twilight Council opener. We could see a proxy being set up, whether it's a proxy Dark Shrine or any kind of proxy in general. We'll see. As there we go, there's that Twilight Council that we were talking about. If a pylon is thrown down across the map, this could be for a proxy Dark Shrine, which is something that Pacomike has done before, and I've even smoked about. Meanwhile, we do have a Stalker opener, which does typically signify a Twilight Council opener as well. This is something that we usually skip if we go for a Stargate, and it is going to be able to fend off this Overlord. The Overlord gets very limited scouting information. It will go down. No pylon though. But it's a charge all in. Yeah, when I came back to the main, I noticed, oh, there's no gas. Oh, let's go. So I was kind of writing this off. I was like, I've seen Pacomike charge all in before. I've seen him take down some really good players with charge all ins. But on Altitude, is he that crazy? With a proxy pylon, with a proxy gateway? You're damn right it is. He is crazy enough to try to pull this off. The question is, how many gateways are we going to be having here? We should be seeing at least 4 gates. This is all in. There's no gases. There's no third base. There is no nothing. And Bioice is none the wiser. He has no idea what's going on. His Overlord was just killed. He's going to be sending out some spotter links to try and figure out what's going on. He's throwing down a safety Roach Warren. For all he knows, it's Glaives. He's just going to be confirming the lack of third base. But look at the amount of gateways that we're seeing here. My god, 4 gates to add to the 2 that we have. 6 gates in total. Probe is gonna feign. It's gonna pretend like it wants to expand. Oh, the Adept is revealed as well. Pacomike trying to sell a story here. Trying to lure Bioice into a false sense of security. Meanwhile, Bioice is throwing down some spores. He doesn't know if it's DTs. We have that Roach Warren finishing up as well. Pylon is thrown down. Oh my, and he actually throws down the Nexus. Oh my god. Okay. I didn't think he would. I thought he would use all these resources to try and expand, but here we go. The Lings are about to rock up as well. They're going to get us around on this Adept. The Adept is going to fall. And we're warping in Zealots. This is a big tell. Charge was just reeled. Meanwhile, I mean, charge was already revealed. Here we go. The Zelts are hitting across the map, but we're of two minds right now. We're expanding and we're also committing to like 6-gate charge. I am not convinced that it's going to work like this. We'll see. Pacomike is going to try and battle it out here, trying to get on top of these roaches, but there are so many of them. We have queens as well. We have transfused energy. Pacomike is being forced back here, and yeah, Bioice, he's looking pretty comfortable. He's droning up behind this. He has plenty of roaches to force this back. And now Pacomike is in a pretty interesting position here. I mean, his third base isn't too late. He does have a decent probe count. He's going to be able to Maynard over as well. He's working on double Forge for double upgrades and Blink. It's just a lot of kind of minerals down the drain here. He did force a reaction out of Bioice, and Bioice did end up cutting drones pretty early. So I guess inadvertent damage was done. I just don't know if that's worth it. That's the thing. As you know, Pacomike is just trying to trade as efficiently as possible, and if we look at the the resource loss tab here, yeah, he has lost more minerals overall. He's gonna try to go in once again, and yo, can he get a queen? Oh, he's gonna try to, but the queen does have some nice positioning here in the mineral line. Zelts are all going to go down. And yeah, this was just an interesting opener. I'm not convinced. I don't know if you can tell. I'm really not convinced here by the opener itself. But you know what, Pacomike, you do you, buddy. It wasn't the biggest commitment into those charge lots, like when it comes to warp-ins. So because of that, I guess it's kind of okay. Like technically, Pacomike does have a better economy. You know, we have 3 base versus 3 base. Pacomike has a worker lead right now because of Bioice's reaction to the 2-base play. Pacomike is kind of in an okay position, kind of, and because of the double forge, like his upgrades are on par. I do think though that if Bioice cut drones now and just made pure roach and looked to max out, I do think that he could probably kill Pacomike though. Just because the rest of the tech is so late. Like, we're trying to get into Archons. We don't have access to splash damage either. And I think that may be what Bioice is doing. Roach speed is on the horizon. We do have 2 hatcheries, but this could just be for larva. Let's see if he does decide to drone. Otherwise, Pacomike is in danger. Yeah, we have 20 links on the way. Bioice is going to be going for a massive Roach Ravager link timing here off of 68 drones. Pacomike is going to try and scout. He goes in with hallucination, but ooh, the hallucination is going to be denied. He sees a fresh base, sees no drones though. Is that enough of a tell? Oh, I don't think so, mate. I do not think so. Again, Pacomike's army is tiny, but Bioice drones. Interesting. I do think that if he just moved out right here, right now, he could probably crush what Pacomike has. But Bioice doesn't know that. He is not aware, so he's just going to be droning, saturating this fresh base. Regardless, because of how aggressive Pacomike is being, I do feel like, oh yeah, he's overextending right now. Every single sentry is going to be going down. We are forced to recall. At the same time, we have a Prism going into the main base, but Bioice can focus his attention on that. This goes to show that if Bioice had gone for a big attack, he probably would have crushed Pacomike, as we just saw him easily deal with the main army. Meanwhile, Massive Zealot warping into the main base is designed to buy some time here for Pacomike. He forces a big reaction out of this army. Oh! Zealots are going to be going down in the main. Bioice is droning. I was like, yo, is this going to trigger a big counterattack? Because Pacomike just lost a lot of units. But no, it's not. Bioice is still just going to focus on his economy. Going to be going for a bit of pressure here on the left-hand side, though. This base is looking a little bit vulnerable, but Pacomike is rotating on over, especially after that bailing run by. He knows he can, and Bioice isn't going for it. going for a longer game instead. And yeah, because of this, I kind of like Pacomike's position. Like, because he's been given so much time and so much freedom on his side of the map, Bioice just hasn't really gone for much aggression at all. Pacomike, he's going to be able to take up from here. I don't think it would be a bad decision for him to throw down a Stargate at this point. But we'll see, because Bioice, he's getting to Hive, he's about to max out. He should be pushing. He's just about to max out, you know, 200 supply. He's up 40 supply compared to his opponent, which happens to be exactly when Pacomike is moving out. He does have Storm. Does have that Storm. ZvP is going to be hitting this left-hand base, but the Ling Bane is in position, but that means it's not here on the right-hand side, exactly where Pacomike is pushing. I don't think we have enough here, though. We have a lot of Storms, don't get me wrong. But we don't have a lot of Stalkers. We don't have a lot of Archons either. Yeah, we have to respect this army. No, the Immortal is going to get caught out. Oh. Same time, another ZvP. That's kind of going to break through. Does some damage, and there we go, as if on cue. The Stargates have been thrown down. I do think that this is the opportunity for Pacomike to throw down a Fleet Beacon and go into Sky Toss. I do think that Bioice is again giving him a lot of room to do so, but finally the army is going to be moving out, and Bioice is going to be looking to go toe-to-toe with Pacomike. Up! Ooh, one High Templar goes down. Nice biles from Bioice. At the same time, left-hand side, ooh, the fresh 5th base is cancelled for Pacomike. But there's a Fleet Beacon. There is a +1 air attack. Pacomike, if given enough time, ooh, he will get into carriers. But before that happens, every single High Templar here just went down to those Banelings. Pacomike, he may not make it there. He may not make it in time. Bioice, we just need to go, Papi. We need to go. We need to see some. We need to see some initiative, Papi. Like, we're so far ahead in supply right now. Our opponent is trying to take up. He's trying to be a little bit greedy, trying to take a 5th base. I do think there is an opportunity for Bioice, but we have a Greater Spire on the way. He may just be waiting to take up. Nah, mate. Here we go. He's pushing out across the map. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. The Banelings. Oh my god! Once again, they detonate with half of those High Templar. They force all the Storms out as well. Not the best reaction from Pacomike. Meanwhile, Bioice is finally pushing in towards that 4th base. Oh, but he doesn't have enough here. He is deflected. Carriers are arriving. Oh boy. Slow and steady, Papi. Slow and steady. I mean, Pacomike is being denied the 5th, which is pretty important. Like, he desperately needs another base soon. You can max out on Sky Toss off of 4 base economy, but you do need a 5th here to be able to trade it, to be able to have any kind of sustainability to your own army. See how that goes. We do have a ZvP. Again, plenty of Banelings to deal with this. It's going to go down. Meanwhile, oh my god. 10 probes go down towards the bottom right-hand corner of the map. ZvP going in towards the left as well. Chaos all over the place. After all said and done, Pacomike comes out worse for wear. His economy is not what it needs to be right now. But the carriers haven't been spotted yet. From my understanding, we have a couple of Corruptors on the way. But I don't think Bioice has really confirmed much of anything. He's just getting ready for that moment. +1 air attack on the way. Flyer attack even. More Ling Bane Road Ravager. Another Baneling run by on the right hand side. The carriers have now revealed themselves. And now we should be seeing a bigger reaction to go into those Corruptors. At the same time, we do have Stalkers on the right hand side to defend. Is it going to be enough? Up. Up. Oh, the High Templar again. Ah. Ooh. The Banelings do get into the middle line. At the same time, the main army was left idle. Pacomike, he wasn't looking, Papi. The carriers are breaking on through, but the carriers don't have a lot to defend themselves. If these Archons get picked off, then Corruptors can just go to town on the Sky Toss of Pacomike. Ooh. Another storm is going to connect though. Same time, a massive Zealot run by here is going to clear out an entire mineral line. The Ravages are falling left and right. The Corruptors are coming in, but a little bit too late. This carrier timing is actually pulling it off. It is actually dealing a lot of damage. I didn't believe, Papi. I did not believe, but 4 carriers are getting out of control. The Corruptors are coming on in, but we have a recall. Have that recall. The Gateway Army is getting out of control on the right hand side as well. We break through the 4th base. We're getting into the natural. Drones falling left and right. The Greater Spire is going to be exposed, but he doesn't go for it. He wants the more secure damage. We have another warp into the main base at the same time. The Corruptors are hunting down the carriers, and they will find them. Oh, we have an overcharge though, and it is going to try and keep this carrier alive. It looks like it will not be able to. With the help of these Archons, I think Pacomike has done it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, Papi. I can't believe it. But here on altitude, he has been able to survive long enough to make these carriers. The Corruptors are doing what they can. They're going to get another carrier, a 3rd carrier for their troubles. Not bad, but Bioice's main base is compromised. The spawning pool is almost dead. The hive as well. If Pacomike wanted to, he could just focus all those buildings down. And he's just going to do a little bit of both. He trades against the roaches. He gets a spawning pool. And next he's going to be getting that hive as well. Oh. Brutal, mate. Finally, the prism is going to be cleaned up. But it's just crazy. It's crazy how this has just turned out. GG gets called. Pacomike takes game 1. Wow. Oh my god. Bioice just gave him so much breathing room here on altitude, and I don't blame him. I know it can be scary committing to a big counterattack, and Bioice was very uncertain of himself, especially after the opener, after the 2-base opener of Pacomike. But shout out to Pacomike for recognizing what he could get away with. I didn't think he could, but what he could get away with, like pushing out whenever he could, distracting Bioice, and going for those Stargates, going for that Sky Tosser transition, and pushing out when he did. Unfortunately, as he was pushing out, Bioice wasn't really ready for it. He had 2 Corruptors and only 2 Corruptors. And Corruptors, they take a long time to build. They take a long time to produce. And creating them reactively is usually a difficult thing to do. Takes a long time for them to finally actually come out onto the map and impact that game. Oh, wow. GG. GG. Well played. Pacomike, he's up in the series. Oh, good. And I feel so bad for Bioice, man. He had opportunities, but because the map is so large, maybe he didn't feel like he could go for any counterattacks. Oh. Regardless, Pacomike is now 1 game away from advancing on to face Cats in the next round. Here we go. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Setting up here for the next round and just catching up in the chat as well. Ah, it's este for sure. Pacomike hanging out too much with Chaos Fate. True. The drunken master himself. It's the Chaos Fate. It's the Chaos Fate. Yeah, I see the chat catching up. Protoss has played this so well. I agree. I think Pacomike did play it out very well. He cut corners where he could, and he got away with it. And that's the thing. That's the thing, right? He got away with so much. Oh. And we'll see if he can do it again. We'll see if he can pull it off once again here. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have the Mexican Protoss player representing License to Kill LTK. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have the Canadian Zurich player representing Psystorm Gaming. It is Bioice. Oh boy. And yeah, as the catch is chatting up, I do agree that Bioice did overreact to the kind of 2-base opener of Pacomike, which is why I thought that Bioice was going to go for his own timing. I thought he was going to like cut drones at 66 or 68 drones, just stop there and just focus on the Lingbane Roach Ravager and just go across the map and send it. I do think that would have been a really decisive move, but again, I guess Bioice just wasn't feeling too confident about his position, too confident about whether or not that would work against Pacomike's defensive line at his third. And yeah, it kind of resulted in the game that we got, where Pacomike was able to get away with such a quirky opener, and yeah, just what an interesting turn of events. Oh boy. And we'll see what happens in game 2. I think what's important to take note of as well is I don't think we're going to see a charge opener from Pacomike again. Like, that's 2 games in a row. That's just not going to happen. It was such a peculiar way to start up game 1, and I imagine designed to really confuse your opponent as well. I don't think it works consecutively, so Pacomike is going to have to do something a little bit different here, and we'll see if he goes for a standard Stargate opener or if he goes for another Twilight Council opener variation. We'll see. We shall see. As for the time being, we do have a bit of a probe scout. Bioice was able to take his natural, by the way. Something you don't see too often. You love to see it. Able to expand where he wants to freely. Meanwhile, Pacomike actually opening up with a second gateway here. Interesting. So he's going to be delaying his tech to go for basically more adept aggression early on. These are going to be glaive less adepts, but because the gateway is hidden, this is designed to catch his opponent off guard and to try and deal some nice early economic damage. Here we go. The first adept is dancing here with the queens. Second gateway is about to finish up as well, and yeah, there's the third gate. Oh my god. Bioice, he's making a lot of links. He's not droning too much either. Okay, there we go. He's going back into droning. These links, he's taking these adepts very seriously, and I do think this is going to work out for Bioice because we are going to be seeing a lot of adepts being warped in, a lot of adepts being sent across the map, and thankfully for Bioice, he will have plenty to deal with it. And meanwhile, there we go. We have our tech. It is going to be another Twilight Council. Again, delayed just because of our opener here and the amount of adepts that we're working with. But we have 3 more gateways behind this. 5 gates in total. Oh my god. It looks like we're kind of setting up here for, I want to say a glaive all-in, but showing... Okay, there's a lot happening right now. This is so weird. This is actually so weird. So we're going up to 5 gates here on 2 bases. Once again, Pacomike is looking like he wants to expand. Does he actually want to expand, though? I don't think he does. And here we go. The adepts are revealing themselves. This is pre-glaives, by the way. Glaives only just now starting. It's so weird to commit to adepts, delay your own glaives, delay your own upgrades, but and also get on the my brain. Oh my god. I can't handle it right now. Here we go. The adepts get across the map. They're going to be able to take down the Spore at the 3rd base. They're forcing a big reaction once again out of Bioice. Bioice, of course, throwing down the safety Roach Horn at around the 4-minute mark. 4-minute mark. Roaches are already on the way. Like, this is such a late glaive timing. We can see here that the 3rd is almost done at this point. Glaives still being chronoed out. There's no robo with this. There's no prism, so we can't reinforce across the map. We have to warp in back at home. But that's a lot of adepts. Because we've been working on this adept count since the start of the game, it's slowly been getting higher and higher. Looking at the Unisoul stab, Pacomike hasn't lost anything. and he's just sending everything across the map. At the same time, though, this Ling run by is going to be punishing him. We don't really have too much of him to defend. He dives on top of the shield battery. Ooh. Pacomike a little bit supply blocked right now. There we go. He's going to be able to warp it defensively, but this third base is under a lot of danger. The Adepts are diving on top of the Queens. They take down 1. 2 Queens go down. Can he get a third? He commits to the shade, but Roaches are waiting for him. The Lings are wreaking havoc here at the third. It looks like the Nexus is going to be going down. And this Adept timing, it's really offbeat. It's late as a result, but there are just so many Roaches ready for him. Like, it's too late, Papi. Pacomike was already making Roaches, expecting some kind of weird aggression. The third base goes down. And Pacomike, this opener, just fell on its face. It's really fascinating though. Like I'm really intrigued. I'm really fascinated by what Pacomike is doing this series, not just this game, but both games. He's just been really, it's just like his own thing. But it also feels really metagaming as well. Like it feels like he's relying on PvZ norms for certain reactions from his opponent, from the Zerg player. But Bioice, smartly, even though he saw a third Nexus, he just made a bunch of Roaches anyway. He just made a bunch of Roaches, was making sure that he was safe and sound, and now Bioice is in a really good position. He has his 3 bases, he's working on his 4th, he's ahead in workers, he's working on his lair. Steps do threaten to shade in. They're going to try and apply some pressure to the 4th base, but yeah, it's going to be on Pacomike to try to come back in this game. Here we go. The Adepts do get into the natural base. They're going to be focusing out a lot of these drones, actually. Oh my god. 6 drones going down. Very nicely done here by Pacomike. Despite how late these Adepts got across the map and how long it took, Pacomike was able to deal some counter damage, but this is what I wanted out of Bioice last game. This is what I wanted in game 1. Mate, we're taking all these losses. Your opponent's doing all this weird stuff. We have a delayed third. Just make Roaches. Just go across the map, mate. Just push on out, and there is no way for Pacomike to have enough to defend. We do have a Disruptor. Disruptor is popping out, and we all know about the Disruptor. You can have a supply deficit and still win a fight, but even 1 Disruptor isn't going to make up for a 72 supply deficit, mate. There's so many Roaches. Here we go. The first Nova is going to be going off. We don't really have too much of a split. Great Purification Nova, but we only had 1, and there's still so many more Roaches where that came from. The Immortal goes down, the Disruptor as well, and Bioice has an overwhelming force of Zerg here. Pacomike can't keep up, GG gets called, and Bioice takes game number 2. Oh. Damn. GG. We have ourselves an ace match. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Gonna be getting into this, and yeah, again, Pacomike with just a really peculiar opener. Again, I do think that there's a little thought behind it. I'm not trying to say that like, yo, he doesn't know what he's doing. No, I think it's really intentional. Because I do know that Pacomike is aware of like these standard openers and like 4 gig Glaive Adept or 3 gig Glaive Adept or like Stargate openers. Like he's aware. He's definitely aware. And he does them himself. But like I do think that he's trying to like metagame his opponent. He's trying to force reactions. He's trying to lure Bioice into like a false sense of security. That's why he's going for these offbeat timings and trying to catch him when he's droning. But Bioice isn't droning. That's the thing. Bioice, overall, this series has been pretty conservative with his droning. You know, he's been really safe when it comes to making Roaches and Lings and securing his position before expanding too much and before droning too much. And I think that's probably a smart way to play against Pacomike. I say probably, as long as it leads to actually making use of that army. That's what we were lacking in game 1, I feel. Oh, I feel like in game 1, we had something very similar there, but Bioice was very tentative about moving out and being active on the map. Here in game 2, mate, just throw caution to the wind, just send that papi, and yeah, he was able to find that success. And now we're going to the ace match. Game number 3. Because it's the ace match, because it's game 3, is this when we get a standard opener from Pacomike? That's what I want to know. Oh. Let's find out, Papi. Let's find out. You're spawning in the top right hand corner of Ancient Cistern. We have the Mexican Protoss player representing Team License to Kill LTK. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have his opponents. We have the Canadian Zerg player representing Storm Gaming, tying up the series 1-1 in that last game. It is Bioice. Bioice with much more decisive play in that last game. You'll love to see it. But again, I do feel like a lot of this series is dictated to what Pacomike is doing, because he has been going for these different builds, these different openers, and they do require different responses as well. So I wonder how the two players are going to divert their paths here. What Pacomike has in store for us in game number 3. As we have a standard hatch gas pool opener here from Bioice. Once again, Pacomike is too late to force the unnatural natural and force a bit of a different base to be taken here from the Zerg player. So Bioice probably feeling very comfortable, very secure overall. Boy. See here, we'll see. And yeah, up until that, I guess from this moment we can just chill for a little bit here. I was very tense, Papi. I was very tense. Ay. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. You know, Cats is out there also waiting for the winner of this series, maybe even learning from Bioice a little bit. I know Cats has been working on some of his other races. I know he's been streaming some Terran gameplay, but I imagine he's out there maining as Zerg. And I'm sure this is pretty valuable information. I think the biggest takeaway from this is not to assume too much about Pacomike when it comes to his openers, and maybe playing things out safe overall. It's hard to say, because at the same time I don't know if Pacomike and Cats have too much of a history on the ladder, because metagaming there can also come into play. As Pacomike, for the first time this series, is going for a Stargate opener. This is looking standard right now, looking normal. Let's go. Oh my god. Oh. Meanwhile, Bioice just going for a hatch gas pool, just droning, chilling, getting his Ling speed, pulling out of gas as soon as he has 100 as well. Very crisp. Oh, we can see there 0 gas in the bank for Bioice. Very nicely timed. Adept across the map, just running a shade, just trying to scout and confirm the timing of the third base, whether additional gases have been taken, if there's a fast lair. Because as much as I like to say that Protoss dictate the pace of the game, Zerg players can also go for their own cheeses and go for their own all-ins as well. Tis quite possible. Oh. Meanwhile, here we go. We do have... We do have that Adept being forced back home here, and yeah, pretty standard Oracle opener. First Oracle zooming across the map. We have a second Oracle behind this as well. And despite how crazy Pacomike has been, yeah, I'm happy to see him return to normalcy. And again, proving to everyone as well, hey, he can play standard if he wants to. He can play standard. He can do everything as things should be. Second Oracle headed out. But, oh, actually, we don't have a triple Oracle opener. We have a Phoenix coming out instead. Oh. Ay. Meanwhile, Bioice, he's actually making a lot of lings right now. He's going to be cutting drones at 39. Has droned a decent amount, don't get me wrong. He does have +1 melee on the way, but Bioice is looking to go for a massive counterattack towards the third base. At the same time, Pacomike is pushing in, but we have Spores, we have Queens in position. Stasis Trap is being thrown down, which is cute, but Bioice does have a great reaction to that. Only a single drone is going to get caught in that. At the same time, Lings do go for their counterattack, and they're going to be able to get us around on this shield battery. The Oracles aren't quite here in time. The Oracle getting here eventually, but by this point, mate, the Adept goes down the shield battery as well. Thankfully, not too many probes, not too much economic losses, but damage was still done. And I was really curious to see if we were going to have continued Phoenix production, but only a single Phoenix for the time being. Only one. And I guess this is just another way to do this. You know, we do typically have Void Rays to clear out Overlords, but Phoenixes are another alternative solution. They are a little bit faster. They can zoom across the map to get on top of them. Meanwhile, at the same time, another Ling run by here at the third base. At the same time, we have that Oracle dipping in towards the third, but the Queens once again are in position. No Spore, but at least we have those Queens. And Pacomike isn't able to deal too much damage whatsoever after all is said and done. 3 drones have gone down for a couple of Adepts and a couple of shield batteries. At least Pacomike has been able to keep his Oracles alive, so he can continue to harass and deal more damage. But with only 2 Oracles, it's a little bit harder to do so. A little bit, as we have our standard transition, blink and +1, as we would be expecting to see. Meanwhile, 2 Adepts dip into the third base, and they get into the natural as well. Oh my god, we didn't have any units in position. The boys are pulled. Not something we want to be seeing here, and 8 drones go down, 9 drones even. Ay. Not like this, Bobby, not like this. Ugh. And as great as Bioice's defense has been, he's now hurting a little bit in the economy. He's going for a bit of a Ling counterattack, and he's going to be able to delay the 4th base at least. But I don't think Pacomike is really too concerned with that. The Lings are looking for a little bit more damage. Now that they have +1 melee, they will be able to find 3 of these Stalkers. Blink is still not done. Ay. We do see another Stasis Trap, this time getting a little bit more damage. 3 drones do get caught in another Stasis Trap into the main base as well, but Pacomike is looking, another 2 get caught, 5 in total. Not too bad, not as bad as it otherwise could have been. Blink is now done, and Pacomike is doing a much better job at preserving his units here, looking to take control of this 4th base. But with the mass amount of Lings coming here for Bioice, Pacomike is going to have a hard time, and it looks like once again we're going to be seeing a cancel. God, it's Bioice. He's just flooding Lings. It's just pure Ling, Papi. Oh my god. Not something you see too often. Oh my god. The High Templar almost go down there. The Lings have broken into the main base, into the natural as well. The wall is not a wall. And every single mineral line is under threat here. Pacomike just having a hard time keeping up with the constant run-bys. The probes do head towards the third base, but there is no shield battery. Is he gonna get Storm? Oh my god, Storm, it's 3 seconds away and it gets denied. Not like this, mate. The Lings, they even get us around on the Archons and the Immortals. Nice hot pick up there from Pacomike, but he's just gonna be losing a little bit too much in the end. Despite the economic damage he dealt earlier, Bioice has done more than enough to recover. GG gets called. Bioice with the mass Ling flood. With mass Lings is able to fight back and take game number 3 and the series. Ay. GG. I was honestly just caught off guard because I was like, oh yeah, he's making Lings, he's just denying the 4th and denying the 4th over and over again. Like it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be fine, right? But yeah, unfortunately, a couple of things were going on there. Typically, Mass Ling has a hard time against his style because of the oracles. If you're familiar with the hero style of PvZ, then you know that he relies a lot on his stalkers and on his oracles to support his stalkers and kind of punish any Ling aggression. As we saw, Pacomike was being very attentive at going for stasis harass, right, or oracle harass. He was just, whenever he could, he was throwing down stasises left and right in mineral lines, which means that we didn't have any oracles to defend back at home, and oracles honestly do an amazing job at cleaning up Lings, but they weren't where they needed to be. Pacomike just a little bit too focused on aggression, not so much on respecting the amount of Lings just flooding across the map. So yeah, really well done by Bioice to be able to recognize that and abuse that, and Pacomike slipping up a little bit there when it comes to supporting his Stalker army, because the bane of Stalker's existence are Lings. Like, Lings are a great counter to Stalkers, and that's why you need something else with them, whether it's Oracles, or more Archons, or Zealots, or Colossi, or anything, right? Pure Stalker alone does struggle. GG, well played. Regardless, congratulations to Bioice for taking this series overall, and my condolences to Pacomike. I mean, he was telling us earlier that he was feeling a little bit unwell, that he wasn't at 100%, so wasn't feeling too good about his chances coming into this, and his run has come to an end. So much love to Paquito, to Pacomike, as his run ends. Meanwhile, we have a couple of other matches here.